Hello again, everybody. This is Sebastian Keynes. This is going to be another Watch Your Realms video. Okay, so in this one, I'm still talking about Lord Phineas, which is joining us this weekend here in the game. This is essentially part 2 because part 1, I am covering him in the Titanic Ruins. I think that he does phenomenal well in that content. And of course, if we have the Titanic Ruins, I think that applies as well for the Drake's Chasm. But here's the thing. In this one, I just want to kind of focus on PvE, PvP content, just to see how he would fit into the game. And so I collected some clips just to show you, just to get you a general idea of whether for you it would be worth adding to your account, or you just probably want to wait for a banner that's coming out later this year. For this type of testing, what I did is because I was hoping to get some of the, his ultimates revved up, or come back to his ultimates. I just put him in a Soul Barnard kind of set. So you can kind of see here that for this purposes, I loaded him with attack bonus jewelry because this kit gives him critical damage. So I wasn't worried too much about that. And here I have him in the Warlord set. So essentially just to kind of average things out, 30,000 attack, 357 speed, 314 critical damage. And of course, he'll build up more critical damage because of his talent. He can gain up to 5 stacks of the Viscount's Flame. This gives him an additional 25% critical damage for every stack that he gains. Okay, not only that, his talent grants critical damage increase to the allies from the Infernal Blast. He actually gives him 25% for 20 seconds. So very nice of him. Here is the thing: his ultimate, in addition to increasing his attack and increasing the effect of the Viscount's Flame, so this actually goes to 50% for every stack. It increases his range, so it goes from 1 tile to 3. So at least he has that benefit for him. Now his ultimate doesn't last too long, it's 20 seconds, and it takes a while to come back, but you can definitely boost it if you bring his you skill him, if you invest the legendary crystals on him. Now during his ultimate, he will deal 800% burst damage one time to one target in range. So this is one of the unfortunate parts I think about him, just a tad, right? Because this is a single target. So if you have like a swarm coming at you, you're not going to be doing direct damage to everybody. But the burst damage is at least to one target. So this is why for this content here, I focused on single target arena, just to give you an example. Once his attack is done, he goes back to his original attack range and the Viscount Flame is removed. So now you just got to go ahead and build it all back up again. His basic again is only the 1 tile. And of course, one of the advantages with this basic, he has a 25% chance to deal 270% damage if you skill him correct and inflict stun on the target. So at least you can control him a little bit. It increases the penetration by 7% for each burning effect on the target for up to 7 stacks. So if you can team him with somebody that brings in burning effect, perfect. You're just giving him a little bit more damage, a little bit more of an advantage. Now, fortunately for him though, once you awaken him at least one time, he can then apply his own burn. He can inflict burn, so that will definitely come into play with with the rest of his kit. And if you're curious, attack, he gains attack here with Awakening 2. In his third one, the critical damage that he gained, that is from his talent and is attributed to sharing with his allies, actually increases to 50% instead of the original 25%. Penetration 8% with Awaken 4. Awaken 5, after the ultimate ends, he has a 50% chance of just keeping his Viscount Flame stacks. All right. So very good awakenings for this type of hero. All right. So I did take him around. I did play him around. So let me show you a couple of clips that I collected. You can kind of then make up your mind if you think that this hero can add some value to your account in both the PvP or PvE formats. Okay, folks, here's a couple of clips that I collected that I want to share with you. So first off, we're starting with the Infernal Blast Faction Trials Stage 12. One of the things that I wanted to see here is how he interacted against the monsters that are coming down from this spawn point up here, right? You have those heavy guys So we need like a lot of burst damage to get them out of the way. If we have like Nocturne, Silitude can do it, and Hex. Those are the preferred heroes that we use here on the bottom if we have them in order to clear this content here. All right, so here we are kind of setting things up a little bit. We're trying to get rid of the boss. So here are some of the things that I did. First, I wanted to make sure just to give him a little bit of backup, because as you see here, I didn't bring any healers. So I just wanted at first Hex, take a couple of shots at him, and then I just activated the ultimate of Lord Phineas just to at least get him out of the way. Now the boss is gonna revive him, but then Lord Phineas is just gonna take him out again right away because his ultimate was still up. So as you can see here come these other two. So this one now, I'm just gonna clear things with Nocturne, let Lord Phineas recharge. And I think here is Silito gets into trouble. And I wasn't really going for the 3 stars. I just wanted to see how he would interact. And so you can see he did not have too much of a hard time doing it, but then Nocturne was there. Now, here's the thing, is I kind of cleared the board for him because I wanted to see the interaction against that 3 soldiers coming at him. So we'll give him a little bit of a boost with Dolores. Now we're going to activate his ultimate, and now you're going to see him just clear them out. Every shot that he does, he has that, what was it, 800% damage just directly at them. So, and I'm assuming that because he was on the field there for a while, he had the opportunity to build up his viscount stacks as well. All right, so in this one here, I went into the voidrift epilogue, and I like to, anytime that I'm doing any type of damage, just to see burst damage, just to see if I could clear things out of the way, I like to go and test it against the tainted Rasak, just to kind of give me a general idea of how things behave here. So I pretty much just brought infernal heroes into this. So I'm just going to set this up. Here Sulkadin's kind of providing a little bit of help. So first, I want to see what Lord Phineas can do on his own, right? I want to see how much of that bar he can clear before I need to bring somebody else to help him with it. So here we go. So, I mean, he's doing some damage. There is no question that he can definitely smack people around. And as long as the burns are up, that's what helps him as well, right? Because it increases his penetration. So we're building that up. We're trying to help him build that up. So as soon as his ultimate here, now you can kind of get a general sense of how much of the bar he clears. As soon as the ultimate is exhausted, let's just finish him off. So let's bring everything back up. Here's another hero that is in the Forerunner server, but not in the global server. That is Cena. Cena is another infernal fighter that has been added to the game. I have done in a showcase on her. I did her showcase when she was introduced into the Forerunner server. So just kind of want to give you a general idea of what burst damage is between the two of them. Now, Cena specializes in this, right? If you haven't heard about Cena, one of the things that is unique about her is that she doesn't really have a basic attack. Everything that she does is on her ultimate. So she's what I consider as a bounce hero. It's a hero that you bring in right away, activate the ultimate. Once their ultimate is done, you pick them back up and they're done for that round. And then you just wait for them to rebuild their deployment time to come back into the field again. So she almost finished them off, but I did have to bring Silito to kind of wrap things up, so you can kind of get an idea of the type of damage that the Infernals are getting in terms of the game. So now I'm going to wrap things up with Lord Phineas again for this round. So let's wait for him to come in. I'm going to bring in Sulkadins as well, just to kind of finish help finish things out for us. So here we go. Now let's start activating ultimates. And let's see how good Lord Phineas can do in terms of how much damage he can help us with. So just trying to get the burn up, a couple burns up, just to get an idea of how much damage he can do. Now remember, this is an A5 Lord Phineas. Yes, we are trying to see how good he is, right? So his A1 allows him to inflict the burn. So that on its own is phenomenal, right? So he can then do the amount of damage that we need him to do. So he did die on me here because he had the anti-heal placed on him, but we were able to still finish him off. Now, in terms of the damage that he did, definitely it was worthy of bringing this boss down. Something like this, where you need like prolonged damage. You need as much damage as you can for the short amount of time. He definitely did very well in that regard. So he served his purpose in terms of doing that burst damage there. Now, here in the test server, it's really hard to test arenas, so we have to do it in the defense setup. But how do I imagine using him if I had him in my account and I wanted to put like an infernalblast team together around it? So essentially what I did here is that I just decided to bring in with Silitu. Can these two on their own kind of clear things out really quick in comparison to the other compositions that we have, like Valder and Ardea, Patrikios with the Arborers, right? So essentially that's really what we're going for here. So Silitu is definitely the one that's coming out early because she has the lower cost. Now I'm building costs here with Serene, so it'll allow me to bring Lord Phineas into the battlefield a little bit quicker. All right, so on this one I have to wait for the little Wedding Skull monster to go away. So right now Silitu's doing a good job kind of clearing things out with her ultimate. He is helping out with his basic, but the one thing that I want you to notice here is how good his ultimate is in terms of just dealing that vast amount of damage. So here we go, and there's that one big hit and he's done. So he comes out. Notice the Silitu is not her ultimate is off, she's on cooldown. So he's doing his thing. All right, so now things are just we're gonna build things up again. So let's get Silitu back up again, and she can do her thing. She's applying a burn too. That helps, right? Increases the penetration. So here we go. So here, I was thinking I could activate it and finish him off, but Silitu's doing a good job. And I noticed the Silitu's about to end, so let's just activate it. Get that demon soldier out of the way. All right, his ultimate's still going to be on, so he's going to be able to do some damage there. So that's kind of the general idea that I see how he can combine now with somebody like Silitu and Sulcanens, if you have him, or Twinfin for that matter. And you wanted to kind of strengthen up your single target arena, if that's what you're struggling with. So just letting Silitu do her thing. I'm going to, I think I was activated the ultimate here in the Demon Soldier number 3 going into 4. So I'm just looking for that one shot. And boom, there he goes. He's done. Over. We're done. So that's a decent run for a single target and get just things out of the way. That is a decent run. So definitely this can be optimized for those arena savvy players, just to make sure that everything pops up right when you need it. So you can see here the amount of damage that he did. All right, this last set of clips, number 1, I want to thank Blunt Cuts. Blunt Cuts is also in the test server. I sent them a message and I said, listen, I set up a defense with Lord Phineas. I want you to kind of think about how you would defeat it. Okay, so then I set up this defense exactly to really pick on his weaknesses and what I perceive is going to be why he may not be as usable in GBG as his kit might lead you to believe, because he has that long extended range, right? So let me play this first one here, because this is exactly what I wanted him to do. And Blancas, again, thank you very much. I do appreciate it that you took the time to collect these clips and kind of give us an idea. Now, this is in the test server. We're still with the season 5 maps. They haven't even updated the maps there. Now, another luxury that we have here, and the reason that he could attack me so easily, is that we can really beef up our demon sailors in the test server. But this is exactly what I wanted him to illustrate. Is that, you know, even if you put him with a very competent cast, like you would here with Lord Phineas and Patrikios, for example, right? There are other very good members as well. That one of the things that you see him do here right now is he's just sitting there, right? Because it's only that one target hitter. Now you could say, well, you could have put him right here with Patrikios, right? Then one of the things that Blancas would have done is he would just send destroyers, right? They do their OAE. Lord Phineas is done. It's cooked. It's baked. All right, so here is it. Number one, it's taking a while to build his rage. Number two, okay, so he gets one target. He's able to eliminate them. No big deal. Now, here's what this is exactly what he wanted him to do. It's just swarm him. Can he take care of a swarm? No, not really. Even with his ultimate activated, he can only hit one target, right? He's not doing AoE. He's not hitting multiple targets. So it was just too easy to get around him, right? So I like him for arena. Not so much for GVG. This is not a fellow that I'm gonna bring in into this content. At least not in my case. Now, if you're struggling for units and you're in the low ranks, sure, okay, try to put something. Maybe you can pick up 1 win or 2 wins. He definitely does damage. There's no question in that. It's just that his kit does not afford him to be that constant damage dealer that you need to make sure that you don't get that your defender gets burdened, right? Or for you to contend with a type of swarm that is coming at you. Now, in this one here, he did utilize Ma, which is fine. I mean, some of us have Ma. We want a Ma defense. We're gonna Ma defense. So for this one, I think one of the things that I did notice is that Ma was able to activate his ultimate, because Ma can extend, right? So he can then get people ultimate activated, and just you see the burst damage there. That's a lot of damage that he's dealing, especially to somebody like Ma here. Of course, then we have Patrikios and Patrikios doing the damage with him. So in that regard, yes, okay, Lord Phineas can help. His ultimate does become activated, but knowing that we can take advantage of it. That's the point here. So here, let's just go ahead. Now go after the tank. So yes, we're doing damage. We're building damage. So let's just protect Ma. Make sure that he has enough time to do Ma things, which is what we want him to do. So let's just take Brooker out. Let's not even give him a chance to survive. And then unfortunately, that once Brooker was down, Lord Phineas is by himself. He does not have AoE damage, and he's gonna get overwhelmed as well. So and here's the other thing, if you didn't notice, is how long it took for that rage to build after Ma activated it. So here it goes, right? Ma activates it. Now I'm gonna fast forward here a little bit, because one of the things I wanted you to see is the mark. So he's on cooldown right now, 214. 214. So Broker is trying like mad to stay alive. Look at the time go down. Look at the build of the Rage. You could have said, yeah, you could have brought Elo in. No, but in this type of map, Elo is not really going to help us a whole lot. We need that extra revive. So we're already at 130. Yeah, that's too long. That's for GBG, that is too long for the Rage to build up, right? Now, you're also going to tell me, you put him at a disadvantage. You didn't put him with faction allies. He's not going to power up faction allies around him. Well, let's say that you bring in your Twin Fin, you bring in your Soul Cadence, and maybe you want to be cute and you put a Hex in there and with Lord Finesse, and now you're saying, okay, maybe I'm a little bit more safer. No, that's not going to be the case. Why? Because on auto, you cannot control when Twin Fin and Soul Cadence activate their ultimates. Hex's ultimate takes a while to build up. So does his. So one, you can take advantage of that. Just drag out the ultimates and then go after the defender. Soul Cadence might build his ultimate a little bit quicker, but we have ways to defend that. And the other thing that also will make the comp pronto is getting locked out. So while Soul Cadence or Twin Fin are building, right there, he's building that ultimate, he's building the power to then slam you. He's going to lock things up, and then you just can swarm it, or you can try to fly and get around it. So for GBG, I would not play Lord Phineas. That's not what his kit is really meant to do, to last in these battles. Okay, folks, so for an overview on Lord Finesse, and especially after the clips that I had shown you here, if I were to then really tell you where he is probably going to specialize, is definitely going to be Drake's Chasm here, along with the Titanic Ruins. That's essentially what I would put him in terms of playing. In terms of the Immortal Codex, I do think he has a chance in some of the content that we do have there. So one, for sure, where I want to test him once it becomes available is the Arbiter of Frost, especially with the fact that we can bring in burn units, right? And maybe team him up with somebody like Socket and see how much damage we can do there. So definitely, that's one area. That's one area that I do think he can play very well, because it's only the single target, right? That's all we need him for there. Titanic Ruins, yes, big plus. That's what I will bring him. Gear Dungeon 2, yes, if you can time him to make sure that his ultimate is ready to deal the damage to the clone, the red clone, right? Because he's a magic damage dealer. So that's where I would then say, yes, he could probably help you there. In terms of that. And yeah, Artifact Material Raid for stages 19 and 21. Bring him in. I show you Faction Trials, very good. Guild Ward, I would not. I'm not using him there. In the voidrift, there's some situations where you can definitely use him. If you wanted to. Bring him in with Soul Cadence, deal with any type of like the Ludwig stages. Don't put him too close when it comes to those destroyers, though. And what's the Crimson stages? No, I wouldn't use them there. But something like the Ludwig stages, yeah, I would use them there. There's no question. You can definitely do that. Drake's Chasm would be the other one, and Arena Single Target DPS. That's essentially what his specialties is. He's a very good hero. I'm not. This is a hero that would be happy to add into my account, because then he affords me the availability to use him in some particular manner, especially when I bring other Infernos, if I wanted to use Hex or Silitude to complement them. And as well, him complementing them, because he is powering them up, he's giving them additional damage to it. So definitely a very good hero coming into the game. I'll leave it up to you if you think that is somebody that you need to pursue. But if you do summon him, just coming out, you're not really chasing him, and he's the one that pops into your screen, I'd say that you got a very good hero. Right? All right, folks, that'll do it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. I will see you all next time. And again, thank you to Blunt Gods for collecting the GPG videos for me.